Hello, my YouTube family. What up, though? What up, though? Let me start my Instagram and my Facebook. I got to start off with a smile, y'all. And I sound real country. I just did it. What up, though, to all my Detroit people? Talking to you all, everybody in the webosphere, all of the above. How was your day? It was a great day to have a great day. It was beautiful here in the city of Detroit. It was a little bit colder than yesterday, but it was still, the sun was still out. Sun's out, buns out, right? But I am Toria Howard. I'm a realtor here in the beautiful city of Detroit and the surrounding areas. And I'm here to talk about some things that are going on in Michigan, not just in Detroit, but in Michigan, period. So I'm a little late today, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So thank you all for jumping on with me today. Because I was supposed to start at 7, but hey, here I am, here I go, and here it is, the information and the education. So I had a wonderful conversation with a lender yesterday who was telling me about the new down payment assistance program that Michigan has dropped. It dropped February 18th, and they have a set budget for this program, and people can qualify. It was launched February 18th, 2025. So it's limited funded. It's first come, first serve. So it's out here for y'all to get. It's 25,000 in down payment assistance. Okay, that's a lot of money to put down on a home, especially for those of you that have been looking for a home. So I just wanted to expound on that a little bit today. So give me some energy in the chat. Is it China Realty? Maybe I think that's what it says. I hope I'm saying it right. Hi, thank you for tuning in. Um, but I am just so grateful for this time to be able to educate people on this wonderful program. So let's talk about it. So just give me some comments, ask any questions. I'm going to be talking about the Michigan program, but you can ask me any question. It doesn't matter where you are in the United States. I help people all in the United States, and looking like I'm going abroad. I'm getting in contact with some people in Costa Rica for future clients. So I'm doing real estate all across this world. Do you hear me? I'm a worldwide realtor. But I'm talking about but you have these same programs in your state. So just definitely make sure that you tap in and see what those programs are. So let's talk about it. So it's 25,000 down payment assistance. So it can be combined with the rate relief program to lower your mortgage interest rate as well. So not only does it have that component where you don't have to bring anything for your down payment, and also maybe your closing costs depending on how much house you're buying, but you also can get a lower rate with for your interest. And we know during this time, interest rates are, creeping back and forth, back and forth. Right now they're in the sixes. You might find some fives depending on the lender or what they have to offer. So, for example, if you buy a $200,000 home with a $25,000 assistance, you could cover the entire down payment and closing costs. That's generational wealth in motion. Let's get it in motion. We got to get it moving, right? But generational wealth starts with generational knowledge. So that's what I'm here to do. So who qualifies and how to check if you're eligible? So most first-time home buyers are eligible, haven't owned a home in the last 3 years. Your parents cannot have owned a home in the past 3 years. So it's a generational home buying assistance program. So it's about making sure that that generational wealth might start with you. But if your parents have owned their home for many years, as long as they haven't bought a home in 3 years, you still are eligible, and income limits apply. So with that, you have to DM me. So let's talk about what else. So even if you have never owned a home, your parents' home ownership history matters. So if they've owned a home recently, you may not qualify. So let's check your eligibility before you go and talk to a lender, or when you talk to a lender, ask about your eligibility. So why does this change the game? Because home ownership is one of the fastest ways to build wealth and financial stability. Renting isn't doing that for you. You're not getting anything back from renting. Now, you can, because I am a financial literacy educator, you can put your rental history on your credit to help boost your credit to buy a home. But other than that, it's not really giving anything back. With a home, especially something you're going to start with, it can give you leverage to your dream home, leverage to start a business, leverage to invest in other things. That's what a home does. You could take the equity out of it and use it for other things, or sell it and use it for other things. You can use it to, if you don't want to be a landlord or whatever, and you wanted to use it to upgrade, you can do that. That's what you use it for. That's how wealth is built, through leverage, right? You have to start somewhere, use that as a stepping stone, okay, for something else, right? To build on. Then you take that, build on something else. So it's all about leverage. So mortgage builds equity. Rent only builds your landlord's wealth, not your own. Now you can use your primary home to build wealth and bring in income. Say, for instance, if you want to buy a duplex and you live in one side and you rent out the other side, that's paying your mortgage, right? If you have an extra basement that you want to rent out to someone or whatever, you can do that as well. If you want to use it for your business as a write-off, that'll help you as well, by using it as a home office, using it as a meeting place for, your board members, all different types of things that you could use your home for. So you have to think about it. Can you talk about escrow and advice on buying a multifamily versus apartment complex for more than you need to get more units, or to? Okay, so that's a different thing. So it all depends on how fast you want, as far as that question is concerned. A multifamily can mean, 2 to 4 units. An apartment complex, you're talking about 5 units or more. It all depends on how fast you want to make money. Of course, the more units you have, the more money you make. So because you have more people who are, paying you. The only thing is you have to account for is vacancy rate. You have to account for, maintenance. You got to account for maintenance, but you might have more maintenance because you have multiple units. So you have to create a different budget for that, a more substantial and extensive budget for that. But you don't have to start off small if you have the capital. But if you don't, if you have the capital to buy an apartment complex, it is always great to buy more units than just one. But if you don't, and you just want to get your feet wet and start somewhere, I would do a duplex first. Do the duplex first, and take that and do a quad next. Then take that quad, leverage that duplex and that quad to buy the apartment complex. That's the advice that I have seen from other people that have done that, and it's worked. I've done it with a client who's done that, started a little bit smaller, and then use those other properties for leverage. Because if you go to the bank, you can use those properties, especially if they're income producing properties, as income to help you get more money. And the bank's money is cheaper than your money to use. So you can use those income producing properties to help you get more money to fund the apartment complex and have more buffer room. So that's what I would say about that. But if you have the capital and you have the buffer room for the vacancy rate, hey, David, and for the apartment complex, because you want to make sure that you are staying above 85 to 90% occupancy. That's optimal. 90%, 95% occupancy is great. 100% is even better. But people are always moving. So you need to make sure that your occupancy rate is between that 85 to 90%. 95 is optimal. 100% is great. So it just all depends. And with the apartment complex, you just have to make sure that you are buying your apartment complex in an area that is up and coming, or it has a lot of walkability, has a lot of amenities going on, stores and things around it. So more and more people would be attracted to live there, so that you can combat that vacancy rate. So I hope that answers your question. But thank you for that question. That's a good one. So like I'll recap. So it all depends on how much capital you have. You might want to start off with the duplex, then take the duplex, then help you buy a quad, have the quad buy the apartment complex. But if there's a good deal, jump on the apartment complex. More units is always better than, two. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 units. You just have to make sure you have your team in place, your management company, of course, your CPA, of course, your lawyers, of course, having your leases, up to par, making sure that you're protected, your property is protected, the proper insurances, all of those different things. So I hope that answered your question. So back to the Michigan down payment assistance program. So home values in Detroit and surrounding areas are rising. So this is the best time to lock in your home here. Uh, Real estate has moved 25% in the last few years and is going to grow, especially with the Joe Louis green belt that they're about to build from. Uh, it's kind of like the Beltway and the different things that they did in Atlanta. So it's going to go from downtown to a suburb called Dearborn. Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. So I hope that helps. Where are you from? Is it China? Is it China? I hope it's China. But Realty. Look, I act like I can't talk. But where are you from? I would love to know. But locking in the lower rates now means you can gain equity faster. And a lot of people, you want to lock in and go into those areas that are up and coming. Okay. All right. What up, though? From Detroit? Okay. We got some Detroiters in here. I'm talking about the down payment assistance program that Michigan just dropped February 18th for 20. You got $25,000 to buy a house, y'all. So, and it's not just in Detroit, it's in Michigan. Okay. I'm in Texas. Yeah, you have to live in Michigan and get that fund. Yes, you have to live in Michigan. Um, but I mean, you can buy property here. I mean, it's grants and different things like that to purchase homes. Some are everywhere. It's out there. Real estate grants are available. Um, but this is specifically tailored for the people in Detroit. So, I mean, in Michigan, not just Detroit, but in Michigan. So you want to lock in those rates because of the fact that real estate is constantly moving, constantly rising. Because when you were talking about a house that you can buy for $20,000 now, I'm sorry, you're talking about it's worth, you know, 50 to 70, 80,000 now, depending on what they did to it. It might be in the 100,000s right now if you bought it 6 years ago. So prices are still low here. And there are areas that are in that green belt area that people have not touched yet. You just have to be brave enough to go in there, do your research, do your own due diligence, and make sure that it's a growing area and build out your equity, because you want instant equity. And with this program, we're not having to have put money down and instant equity, you win it. So for example, imagine buying today at a lower rate with with the assistance. So in 5 years, your home value goes up 50,000 plus. That's yours to keep. You might, if you have to renovate something, it might, triple or quadruple, because real estate is going to increase, especially now that a lot of I have out of town investors coming in here purchasing properties. I just work with a out of state investor from North Carolina. He bought 7 properties. I'm working with an investor out in California. He's looking to buy properties. So people are coming here. I want the people in Detroit to take advantage of this money that they're giving away, plus have their own ownership. So let me talk about the steps to get ready before right now, because February 18th has already came and gone. We are at March 11th, so we almost a month out, and this program has been here. So step 1 is to get pre-approved now. Don't wait another minute. I have lenders that can help you do that. Step 2 is to check your credit score and your financials. I can help you with doing that. You need to make sure that you don't have any collections and your DTI is, lower, like 40%. That's debt to income ratio. You don't have any collections and charge-offs and any other negative items on your credit report. If you need help with that, I can definitely help you with that.